Hello, I'm Emma from Orchis Floral Design. Here's where I work at Hagler's in beautiful Sheffield. Thank you for buying my Christmas wreath making kit. I just got a few tips before you watch the video. Find yourself a nice comfortable position that you don't mind if it gets dirty, because we're going to be snipping up lots of foliage. So somewhere that you can sweep up that's easy. Pour yourself a glass of wine or a cup of tea, because we're going to sit down and we're going to craft for about an hour. And enjoy the video and pause it at any point that you need to stop and make, but I'd say do that after I've done the instruction. So just watch the instruction first, then pause it, then craft along with me at the same time. And enjoy it! Merry Christmas! Thank you for ordering my Willow woven wreath kit. You should have delivered a box like this. And these instructions are going to help you turn that box into a willow woven asymmetrical wreath ring, a bit like this. So get out your willow woven wreath. We don't need that right now, and put it to one side. And then inside you'll have a collection of seasonal foliages and dried fruits. You could request in the comments box what kind of colour scheme you wanted. If you didn't request anything in particular, you're going to get a mixture quite similar to this of seasonal foliages. You might not have exactly the same, but the method of making is going to be the same. So get out of the box your foliage and everything, but leave behind any dried slices and cones, because we're going to put those on at the end. And you can put them to one side. Okay. So we're going to make little bundles of foliage, and they're going to be approximately the size of your hand. And each little bundle of foliage is going to then get attached to your wreath ring. So just choose from the items you've got that are on a stem, whatever grabs your eye, and cut them and put them into little bundles together. Like I said before, about the size of your hand. And gather up no more than 4 different types of material. And when you've got a nice selection, use the paper coated wire in the kit. Cut off a small amount, about 10 centimetres, and where you've been holding it, wrap the wire around. Don't tie it, because wire doesn't do well being tied. You just want to twist so it's nice and tight. And then chop the excess stems off. So you've got about just over an inch. And then put them to one side. And then do another mixture of just whatever catches your eye, really. If there's anything in particular that you really like, put that towards the front of your bunch. So if you like eucalyptus like this, that's going to go towards the front there. And any bits underneath, remove with your hands. And this cotton's lovely. I'm going to pop that in there. And don't make any 2 bunches the same, really. Make sure they've all got a little bit of something different in them. And twist them together. Nice and tight. Don't worry if the wire breaks. Just cut it off and twist again. And keep piling them up. And inside your kit there should be enough to make at least 10 bunches. But to be honest, you'll probably only need 7. So when you've done 7, stop and see what it looks like on your wreath ring. Gets a bit twisty. Chop. through there. There we go. And we're going to be putting on the orange slices and things afterwards, so don't try and wire those into there. It's literally just the branches and any dried materials that have got a stem that are going to go into the bunches. If it hasn't got a stem, don't try and put it in. There we go. Twist it round, cut, place on. This is going to be my last bunch. And if there is any excess foliage, you can always add it in at the end. Oops, a little bit there, nice. There we go. And chop. So then you should have approximately 6 or 7 little bundles, hand-sized, that we're then going to put onto our willow ring. And because it's going to be an asymmetrical design, there's going to be a piece of your wreath ring that's going to be plain. So choose which bit you want to be seen, and a bit that you're not so keen on, start adding your foliage on so it hides it. And then take one of your bundles. So what you could do is you could place all your bundles on first and see what it looked like, and then take them off and attach one at a time. I quite like doing it as I go along and just picking up as I feel. So you do what you feel most comfortable with. So we're going to fix the wire on just by sewing it onto your wreath ring at a place where you want to hide. Just can go around once, and as long as it's attached and you can pull it and it's not coming off, that's enough. And then give it a twist or make it even more secure. And then we're going to place our first bundle. So your bundle should have a back and a front, and we want the back going against the side of the willow ring. And you're going to bind it on where you put the tie. Don't bind it up higher because that squishes it all on. Just once or twice is enough. And then pull nice and tight. And then choose another one. And then layer it on. And then this one is just going to hide that ugly part of the stem, but not hide all of it on top. We want to move down. So we want to make sure it's always travelling down. And again, don't cover there. Cover where you've put your binding, the ugly part of the stem. And don't cut this wire in between, leave it on. But like I said, if it does snap, don't worry, or if it gets really twisty, just sew it back onto your wreath ring again and start again. There we go, there's another one. And like I said before, there is a front and a back. So as I'm placing these on, I'm not moving them around that way because it's all going to be on towards the front. Now I've got 4 on there. Now I just want to return my end. So I'm going to go back this way and go stem to stem. Here. But that bit isn't as pretty, so the very last one I'm going to place here, which is just going to hide that area. And move your bits out of the way as you go along. So what, like I keep saying, I don't want it all squishing up like that. And that will give your design more movement. And the wire's very close in colour to your willow, so you can't really see it, which is good. And then when it's all on nice and tight, you want to cut your paper coated wire. And then you're going to finish it off by doing the sewing again. Like so. So you should have a fixed, your semi-crescent of foliages, and just manoeuvre your foliages so everything's got its space and a place. And if there's any bits you don't like, you can just pull them out. Now in your box, you've got a few extra bits as decoration. So we've got, in this box, we've got dried slices and cones, and some cinnamon. So we're not going to wire those ones on, we're going to attach them on now. And we do this by getting the long wires that are in your box, putting them across and twisting together. And then when they're like this on the stronger wire, you can choose where you'd like to put them. So there's a bit of a gap here, which I'd like to hide. And I'm going to use that wire and I'm going to wrap it around. Again, be careful not to squish all your foliage in. And now because these ones are on wires, they're really flexible, so you can actually move them into position, upright or to the side. Same with your slices. I'm going to put 3 together. I'm going to go straight in and twist around the round and place those. It's a bit of a gap here. Oops. I'm going to get some more slices here. Look for another gap in your design. And pop the bum. So again, I'm just winding it round the wreath ring. The cinnamon sticks, they're only a tiny bit different. They want to be put on the paper coated wire, which is more flexible. And you're going to just wrap that around and twist, just like the other wire. Because you'll find if you use this stiff wire on those, they slide out. And then just position that exactly where you'd like it to go. And you can always turn your wreath over, quite easy, if you find it easier to work like that, so you can actually see what you're doing. And just keep looking at your design and thinking where you'd like to place items. You can cluster things together, that's known as grouping, or you can space them apart symmetrically. There we go. And then, like I said, anything on a wire, you can then position. And in your, so you should have a nice semi-crescent like that. And then in your box, there's also some ribbon, which you can use to fix onto your door, or just as decoration. I'm going to put it at the top, so I can actually hang mine off. And I'm just going to tie it really simply. There we go. So you should have a nice willow woven ring with a beautiful wired semi-crescent on the side that you can hang on your door. Well done, you've made yourself a beautiful Christmas wreath. I'd love it if you shared it with me on social media platforms. You can WhatsApp me, you can Instagram me or Facebook me, it's Orchis Floral Design. I'd love to get together a nice Christmassy gallery of everyone's beautiful wreath pictures. And I'm also going to announce a Wreath King or Queen 2020. And if you're the winner and I choose you as the best wreath, I'm going to send you a sash, a bouquet and lots of love. Merry Christmas.